welcome to my new video. As promised, today I want to show you how to operate the ELL SOLID air conditioner. There are actually two ways to do this. First, the traditional way. We have a remote control here, and overall there's not much more to say about it. We can turn on the air conditioner here and use the mode buttons to switch between different modes. That would be automatic, cooling, drying, heating, and of course the fan. Furthermore, we can adjust the fan speed, control the flaps here, use a shutdown timer, adjust the brightness of the LEDs, and activate the boost mode. Of course, we also have an eco setting, and that's basically everything about the remote control. Of course, you can also control this air conditioner via an app, which is my preferred way to control it, because here you have the ability to access the air conditioner remotely and use many more functions, like, of course, a detailed extended timer for this unit. And in my opinion, that's one of the most important features of this unit, that you can use a timer for both cooling and heating here. How do we do that? First, we need to connect the unit to the app. For this, you download the NetHome Plus app. This app is compatible with this unit. Once you've downloaded the app, we need to pair it with the air conditioner. It's actually quite simple. Turn on your air conditioner using the power button. Once the unit is turned on, you have 8 minutes to complete this step. Now press the set button on the remote control. Press the set button until a small Wi-Fi symbol appears at the top and confirm by pressing OK. And this is how the symbol AP for app appears on the display. And now the system is in pairing mode. Please register with the NetHome app, and now you can also carry out the pairing there. Usually we can simply add a new system here by pressing the plus button or by selecting from the menu that we want to connect an air conditioner, since the air conditioner is already basically searching for the app and the mobile phone. It emits a Bluetooth signal allowing the phone to quickly find the air conditioner. You can see it on my screen. Click it and follow the instructions. Usually, we now pair this unit with our personal Wi-Fi network, and that way we also have access to the unit from the internet. Once we've connected the NetHome app to the device like this, we can now use it. I'll just show you the screen over here. This is roughly what it looks like for me. You can also pair more devices with this app. All compatible devices are listed here on the main screen, but you can also personalize it. Nevertheless, you can now see my air conditioner here. Of course, we can also give the air conditioner its own name if you want. Now we see the air conditioner here and simply click on the button or on this switch, and now we have the air conditioner in front of us. You see the air conditioner is turned off. We can also see that here in the app. To activate it, simply press the button here and it's turned on. We see that we're in cooling mode, and now down here with this setting, we can preset the temperature for cooling. For example, in the summer, I usually like to set it at 22 degrees here. Of course, we also have all the other functions that are available on the remote control, such as drying, the fan, the automatic mode, and also the heating function. Much more important here, of course, is we have additional settings in this app, of course. Let's just start with the most important basic settings, or with the settings themselves. To do this, click on the three-dot menu up here and you'll first enter a configuration setting. Here we have, for example, the fast-forward settings. Here we can choose the mode, for example. I'll just select the heating option now. You can set a temperature and then you can set the fan speed here. Next, we'll get to the most important point, the schedules. For me, that's actually the most important point when it comes to a heater or an air conditioner. We just click on it, and here we can now create a schedule for ourselves for our heating or cooling cycle. Click the clock icon below. Ensure the schedule matches your phone's settings. That means I'm here in Central Europe, so it will be recorded accordingly and created based on that. Then we have the option to add a new schedule now. To do this, we click on Add Schedule and can now create our own schedule. For example, let's just start with turning on and off, or with turning on itself. We want the system to activate at a specific time. That's especially important to me in winter, and I want to come into a warm room. As you can see, you can select a time up here. We typically start work here between 6 and 7 o'clock. Since this heater is very fast, in my opinion, much faster than anything I've had so far. For example, if I turn on the heater here now, it immediately blows warm air into the room and has the room heated up in no time. At least the air is warmed up so much that I don't need a long preheating phase here. That means, for example, if I start here at 6:30, I also set it to 6:30 accordingly. You can do that any way you like, set weekdays every day or custom here. Of course, it makes sense, for example, if we have an office here to choose weekdays and we select that setting. We want to have a room temperature of, let's say, 21 degrees here, and then we also set the fan speed. That's something you'll learn from experience over time. Usually a very, very low fan speed is enough for me here. If that's not enough for you, just switch to automatic mode and try out what you need here. You select the mode. I want to heat since the winter season is just around the corner, and we confirm that. This way the system turns on at 6:30 every weekday. The same applies to turning it off. We might overdo it here. I want this system to reliably shut down at 8 p.m. every day since I'm always out of the office by then. So that means we select every day. Select the time here, 8 p.m., and click Save. This way, the system will be turned off exactly at 8 p.m. Of course, you can add more schedules here. You see, we have a lot of space here and can create as many programs as we want individually. For example, if you don't want to cool the room down too much at night, just set the system to run at 16 degrees at night, for instance, and so on. But that's just an example. By the way, if you've created schedules and want to deactivate them in the summer because you need to switch to cooling schedules, you don't have to delete them, just deactivate them here with this switch. And with that, the schedule is turned off. Now we'll go back and continue with the basic settings. Now we have the smart curve function here. You can take a look here. The device will select a smart curve that's set or preset for our country, and it will also update it here, and you can use it here. Then we have geolocation here. This is, of course, used to determine where the device comes from. This way the device knows the location, and you can then use this function properly at the top. Below that, we find a small self-check. If you think the system isn't running properly, we have the check option here. Just click on it. Here, the system performs a complete self-test and displays the result down here after the test. And as you can see, my test is okay. Everything is normal here. Then we have the unit. Here you can change it again. We usually use Celsius, but you can switch to Fahrenheit. You can change the time zone. You can learn everything about the device or use the user manual. You can also share the device with family or colleagues. For this, we have the share function down here, and this way other people can also control this device. But that's all for the basic settings. You see, we just had the automatic program running with the heating. Of course, it turned on accordingly because we're in the time window, and now we're heating. It's getting too warm for me, so I'll turn it down here. And you see, you can intervene at any time on this thermostat and still control the heating remotely without affecting the program. For example, you can turn it off now and the next program will still run. Then, of course, down here we have some more nice features. Just scroll up on the screen for a moment. Here, for example, we can set things like the fan speed. And I think that's really great. Namely, on the remote control, we can only adjust the fan speed in 10% increments. Sometimes that's a bit too little for me. But here we have the option to set the fan speed even in 1% increments. And so you can make the device even quieter. For example, if the fan speed is enough for you when I'm heating, just a few percent are enough for me, you could set it to 1% here. And I'm working here with you right now. You can see how quiet the system is then. So you could also work really quietly, but you can also switch to automatic mode. Then we also have a favorites function here. Now let's move on to the flaps themselves. We can actually make these flaps swing as well. You can set that up over here. Then we have the speed. It's important to mention the speed is only available in cooling mode. Let's quickly switch back to cooling mode and select the speed again. And here you see you can then adjust the cooling function down to 75 or 50% accordingly. We switch back to automatic mode and then move on to the direction. That would be the direction of the flaps. You can now see a small preview image of the flap here. And here you can then control the flap accordingly and adjust it to your needs. Note, this function may not be on all devices. Check your manual to confirm support. Then let's move on to the eco function. The eco function is there to save electricity. You can also select this here on the remote control, then just press eco here. However, this function is not available for all programs. And here you need to have a program that also supports the eco function. Just take a look at the user manual. We'll just go back to cooling here now. Yes, this is where the eco mode is intended. So the eco mode is meant for cooling. And we can basically use it in cooling mode. This way the system saves a bit more energy when cooling. Then we have the fan boost here. Here we can turn up the fan a bit or ventilate with more power accordingly. Then custom drying. Sometimes it can happen that we have slightly more humid rooms. For example, or it often happens to me, when I spend a long time moving equipment into the room, the door stays open for a long time. If it's raining heavily outside, the humidity can increase significantly. Then I click here on custom drying, turn it on, and enter the humidity level as a percentage. I'd pick about 45% here. And then the system will dry the room air down until we've reached this level or this value here. That's also a very nice feature that I like to use in the fall and winter when, as I said, I'm moving materials in and out here. Then we come to the smart curve here. I already showed it to you earlier. We can also use it here, but it's probably intended for a different program. Let's go back into the heating section and select this curve, and we can see now it's being used. Now we're going into night mode here. Now the system is especially quiet, especially efficient, and the system continues to run in this, let's call it automatic mode. Then we go to FP. I need to check what that means. We're still in sleep mode, so let's turn that off first. Now let's go to FP. And this way we can basically control the room temperature in automatic mode. The system automatically decides if it should heat, cool, or ventilate. We also have an LED display here, which we can control with this. This feature isn't available in the app. So use the remote control here to operate the LED. That way you can also dim the LED a bit. Then, of course, we also have our schedules here. We already discussed them earlier. Let's move on. Active clean. That means the device has a kind of self-cleaning function. You can use this function here. Just click on this, and the device will perform a kind of self-cleaning and run through it. You can run a self-cleaning occasionally, but the device should still be properly maintained once or twice a year. That means open the device and clean it thoroughly here. Then even more important for me is an application. When you move in front of the device, it can sometimes be very uncomfortable if the device blows air directly at you like that. There's also a nice feature here. With this feature, the device tries to avoid blowing air directly at you. And this feature is over here. I'll turn the unit back on. Here you can see this feature. If you use this little figure, it can help avoid that a bit. But that's also something that's more intended for cooling. So let's switch to cooling mode and click here. And now this unit is trying to direct the airflow away from you. That means I'm standing here in front of the unit now. And the unit is now trying to direct the airflow upwards here so it doesn't blow directly on me. So with that, we've basically covered most of the functions. I can also highly recommend the help section here. Here you can find answers to important questions directly in the app. And with that, we've described the app so far. Now you can control and operate your unit with the app. If you have any further questions about the ELL, SOLID, or about using the app, please write them in the comments below. If you have questions about the remote control, please do that as well, or any further questions about the unit. If the questions are interesting, I might make a follow-up video about them. If you're interested in the unit itself, also check the video description below. There, I'll link the unit and all the sources for this unit for you. So I hope you enjoyed this video and that it was helpful for you again. If that's the case, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. Do you want to watch more of my videos? No problem. Just subscribe to my channel here because subscribing on YouTube is, of course, free. Goodbye. See you next time. Mark on YouTube.